Hey Joe, it's Folks here. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you could use a designer to make you a print-on-demand design like this in 5 minutes or less. The first thing you are going to need to do is find a designer. Typically, this is done on places like Fiverr or Upwork or even designed by ninjas. You could also go into a print-on-demand Facebook group and likely ask for some recommendations there. Down in the description of this video, inside of my free POD for Dummies course, I do have some video lessons on finding a designer. In today's video though, I want to focus primarily on what you should actually say to the designer to get your designs made. Now, once you do have a designer, there are really just three things that you need to communicate to them. The first is what is actually on the design. The second has to do with what everything on the design actually looks like. And the third thing is how it is all arranged. In most cases, if you can convey all of that to a designer, you are likely going to get something back from them that you like. Now, obviously, before we jump into some of the details with those three things, you'll also want to tell the designer what product you're actually selling and which supplier you are using so they can go get you the design template that is needed for the product. Now, when it comes to what's on the design, let's take a look at this design here. What is on the design is a border that looks like plaid. There's also some text at the top. There's a barn scene in the middle and some text at the bottom. Essentially, you would want to make sure you are describing all of that to the designer. Essentially, what shapes and graphics and words are on the design. Or even if you have any patterns, those should be mentioned and told to the designer. You are trying to tell them everything that needs to be on the design. The second thing is, what does it all look like? Again, if we take a look at this design here, what you would want to tell them are things like colors, maybe even some examples of fonts or examples of patterns, or even examples of how the artwork inside of the design should actually look. In the case of this design here, we have a barn, we also have some red text, we also have a red and black plaid border around the outsides. Reference images for all of that stuff, or even font names, would be great to include for a designer. The third thing is how everything is arranged. Already we told the designer what is on the design and what it looks like, and lastly we need to tell them how it is all arranged. If we look at this design again, we can see that we have a barn right in the middle. We also have some text below the barn. We have a name above the barn, and then on the left and on the right we have a date. Around the edges of the design as well, we also have that plaid border. Obviously, as I'm talking through this with you, I'm doing it in 5 minutes or less. This is likely going to require some thought on your end. And ultimately, like I said, if you can accurately describe what is on the design, what it looks like, and how it is all arranged, you will likely be successful with hiring a designer. Now, obviously, creating a good design is difficult, right? Coming up with a good design idea is difficult. What I'm trying to help you to do in this video is understand what you actually need to tell a designer. In my experience, if you can describe those three things, the designer is going to be able to make you something that is in line with what it is you are going for. And like I said, here on this channel, I make short videos, 5 minutes or less, to help you with your print-on-demand store. If you need more help, I do have a free print-on-demand course with even more step-by-step training. There is a link down in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.